faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. I hate, hate. Love like yours will surely come my way.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited right. Start with America's most awarded network.
I'm on my phone 24/7.
Then, for the first time ever, give families more entertainment with Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, now all included.
We're a big soccer family.
Handmaid's Tale. I love Frozen.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
With plans starting at just $35. The network more people rely on gives you more. This is unlimited built right, only on Verizon.
Hello, I'm David Kovacs, Senior Vice President for Global Entertainment at Citi. We at Citi are so proud to be the official card of PaleyFest Fall TV Previews again this year. As you can see, this year's festival is online rather than in person, as are most events in 2020. While we miss seeing our favorite TV stars live in front of us, a virtual festival does allow more fans to be part of the experience. As a special perk, Citi card members receive an exclusive preview of the panels before the general public, plus a VIP pre-show with exclusive clips. This year's festival includes Netflix's Away with Hilary Swank, Fox's Filthy Rich with Kim Cattrall, and Showtime's Moonbase 8 with Fred Armisen, and much more. So with that, please sit back and enjoy the show.
It really is back to like that sandbox acting and really make believe in what if this was really happening and how would that feel, and being able to empathize with that and the magic of that. It's kind of acting 101. It's kind of back to like basics.
The great thing about doing a series is it's like you're part of the stock company, and everybody, the writers and the actors and the directors, you start to get to know who those people are, and the sky's the limit for the stories that you can tell. And there's also humor that we're using in this. It's not just a nighttime soap. There's some oddities that I found, seeing the pilot again, just little nuances that all of us had managed to put in there to expand the world and the relationship. And those are when, again, it's very delicious.
Read the end of every script to see where you are. And be open to that. Just like, this could be my death, I'm not sure. But I'll lend it over to good storytelling.
So we don't have to read the whole script, just the end.
Just the end. Just know whether if you're turning into a walker, just know that, Ooh, all right, good.
That's what this at the center of this movie is. Despite like the money and the success and the reviews, that's what matters. Is we made a movie for these people who 6 years ago lost this person. And when I first showed them the movie, Rob watched it 5 times in a row, and he was happy and he was joyful, because he felt like we captured the spirit and the essence of his son. And Zach was joyful. And I think that's what matters. And I'm so happy, Scott, that you said that you felt joy after this movie, because we have enough darkness in the world. We have enough pain and suffering. We have enough death. This movie wasn't about a kid who died. It was about a kid who lived. And it was about a kid who lived and inspired us to live.
It's part of a Paris that does really exist. And so I think it's about her journey of self-discovery and also the challenges she faces living in a foreign country, not knowing the language, and also thinking about us as Americans, how small our lives are. We just think, most Americans don't have passports. They don't travel abroad. And this is a chance to hopefully, I always think about this show, if it encourages just like, some people to get a passport, think about leaving the country and just seeing more of the world. I think that's something, that's like a really wonderful service the show can do. So I think in that respect, it's a show about having just an international point of view about the world and broadening our perspectives about the world as Americans. And this is a show about how I think when you look at it's very easy to look at the trailer and think it's a show about how the wonders of Paris, but actually it's a show about how challenging it can be to live in a foreign country.
It really only came into focus when we first got in front of that live audience and had that feedback. And when you do a scene and it's kind of, all the writers huddle and they kind of pitch jokes, try and make it better. And then you go back and that's the real kind of excitement.
I love that, as we're all like, there's so much uncertainty right now. And as we're all stuck at home and you really have to kind of make peace with the things you realize about yourself, good and bad, like your strengths and your weaknesses. And for her, it was amazing to be a part of her accepting who she was.
This was my first experience on a shoot where there were so many women in positions of power, and I was so empowered to bring myself to the table. I was so empowered to make this my own thumbprint. And usually, for better or for worse, it's just the way the medium works. It's a machine, and the showrunner and that comes from the showrunner. Mary is someone who wants to incorporate all the different voices and utilize what you bring to the table and let it shine. That's her style of leadership. I haven't seen anything quite like it on a set before for television. And to me, that's a very female point of view, to lead with an ego that's not afraid to share.
We were careful, although these guys can be quite idiotic, we were careful to make sure that they each had skills in some way that would make them technically, qualified to be part of this program. Like some skill where you're like, well, yeah, that actually would be useful on the moon. A scientist or a helicopter pilot or.
There's no answer for my character.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. You're good for morale and spirituality.
Yeah.
Like even our episode that's going to come up about police, that's an issue that's been going on for a long time. We could talk about those issues that are going on. So it's not dependent on sound bites and that type of thing. We have an episode this week on voter suppression, and there's a lot of issues about that have to do with this election cycle and elections in general, but not so much based on something that happened on Monday that could be canceled by Friday, which is always a danger.
The novelty for me is particularly in the medium, not TV, but the way in which we shot it. We shot it with a digital red camera, and I don't shoot with digital. That was the first time. Also, I was quite deliberate in making sure that we had not many takes, probably a couple of times.
Okay. You had a lot to shoot too.
We had a lot to shoot, but that's not the point, because I could have done anything I wanted in terms of time. It's just that I felt like that all the amazing people that comprise the cast, all of them amazing, they were very well tuned to be the characters, and for me and my crew and my DP to catch what we needed to catch.
And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, this is really smart writing. And it made me really just like laugh, like just like a genuine, like just thinking of everything that happened throughout the quarantine, just like how I was communicating with my friends, just like things that I started doing and baking cookies and like pretending I was a chef, just like little things. Like it just really made me genuinely laugh. And I was like, oh, this is fun.
We watched a lot of kind of British rubbish from the late 70s and 80s, like a kind of bit of Tom Baker, Doctor Who. I watched some stuff called Sapphire and Steel, which was a kind of weird childlike flu show. I think there's a bit of Prisoner in there. And what was that thing? We watched a lot of Arthur C. Clarke's World of Strange.
Yeah, World of Strange Powers and Mysterious World. We watched a lot of those.
It's like a documentary where like it rains worms and fish and stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff. Yeah,
and the X-Files, the X-Files.
Yeah.
My whole thing when I came in was like John Carpenter and early Spielberg.
Otto, did you get to do any cool stunts?
Yeah, I got to do loads. I got to climb the building of the school with a big wedgie because they put a crane up and put a bungee. What were they called? Like a wire. They put a harness. They put a harness, but it wasn't a harness. It was. I had like a school uniform on, and they like. No, it hurts. It hurts.
First time we all met was during a medical rehearsal, and it sort of like solidified the fact that we were all in this together, because that was an equal disadvantage that all of us had, that none of us really knew what we were doing.
I think that fear is really what propels a lot of technology. And to me, it's like, yes, you can sit back and say, well, maybe we should just stop. No, we're not going to stop. There's a lot of countries, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of smart people, and whatever we can dream of, someone somewhere is going to build it. So we might as well move forward and find a way to do it smart.
What I discovered while watching them work on these characters through these Marvel plays is that there's this real connectivity in terms of the things that we all struggle with, that Marvel characters struggle with, that these kids are going through in terms of gaining confidence and, as we're talking about, surrounding yourself with friends that you connect to, gaining a community that you can work together with. Things, elements of like body positivity are things that resonate so much with me in my own life. Those are battles I struggle with daily, that I was watching these high school kids, gain knowledge about through these Marvel characters. So it was a really inspiring kind of journey. And it was just really interesting to me that kind of the things that high school kids go through are so universal, and they were really encompassed in these Marvel stories.